Hello and welcome back to Pendor Rearmed, and indeed we're here once more at Valonbray, and unfortunately I haven't had a huge amount of time. Ooh, hello. Alright, I'm actually kind of surprised that they're doing this, but yes, I hadn't had a huge amount of time to restore our HP, so we are in a bit of a, well, shall we say, a bit of a troublesome spot with our health right now. I would have liked to have, you know, been a little bit higher in HP when we came in here, but I wasn't expecting them to sally out. I thought they were going to force us to go straight on into the siege yet again, and we were going to have some major problems, but actually, this is probably the best thing that could have happened, which is hilarious. This is really the best thing that could have happened, because just look at what is happening right now. These fellows have no idea what they are doing. They're literally giving us this victory, and we are going to be able to fundamentally just destroy as many people as we want from this garrison, and they won't be able to do anything about it. And well, here's the thing, this is obviously really good for us, right? This is probably one of the best things that they could have done, but the problem with this is that there are about 5 vassals extremely close by to me on the outside of this, right? So basically what's going to happen is, as soon as I get out of this particular sally out, we will be beset upon by a massive army. And they have, I don't know, like 600 people or something like that. Maybe even more, to be honest. That would be pretty bad. But yes, this is exactly the reason why we either have to achieve victory here, and the reason why I probably should have tried to not take any damage in this particular situation, because taking damage does make it extremely difficult for us to pretty much do anything afterwards. But what else can I do, right? What else can I do? I just kind of have to make do with what we have here. Let's see if my health is going to be good enough. I mean, look at that. We got 58 renown for an extremely simple, very nice 125 kill. I'm actually really surprised here. 125 kill charge in. Now, I'm wondering, I don't think they're going to go for this again. I think this is going to be really, really easy for them, actually. So let's lead our soldiers. Let's see if we can actually make this happen. Yeah, okay. Maybe we'll be okay. I mean, this is going to be a bit problematic in general, because I'm going to have to leave my forces on the outside quite dramatically here. I don't really want to tell everyone to charge in if at all possible, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to literally go all the way over here. As you can see, look at the amount of, the amount of bolts, the amount of arrows streaming towards the opponent. Look at how much crazy damage is being done right here. And this is exactly what you want. That is exactly what you want every single day of the week. Thank you very much. And indeed, I think we can probably, yeah, I'm literally just going to stand here. I'm just going to stand here being extremely lazy. And yeah, we're just going to let our forces do their thing, because here's the thing. I think personally, if we are able to defend, well, not defend, but if we're able to actually take this, then we might be able to defend the fief from being retaken by the very large force that is outside. I'm kind of hoping that to be the case. What am I being shot by? That guy? Ah, okay, I see. That fellow is over there. Alright, well, we don't have to really worry too much. Now, this is obviously great. This is probably one of the most fantastic things we could have happen here, because this is exactly the reason why I've tried to compose an army that is capable of doing all kinds of warfare, right? So, for example, taking fiefs, right? What are the best units for taking fiefs? Well, that depends, obviously. If you want to do the, you know, go in, retreat, rinse and repeat strategy whenever you run out of arrows, then get as many archers as you can. You know, that's great. Go for it. If you want to be a little bit more brute force-ish, then you can obviously do that by, you know, getting a bunch of infantry, a bunch of cavalry potentially as well, even though cavalry are less good than infantry, but still relatively decent. And then, of course, if you want to be an all-rounder, like I'm trying to do right here, basically it's all about getting, gonna tell my people to charge in now, it's all about getting horse archers. It's all about getting horse archers that are not flimsy paper bag wielding, well, pansies, basically. You don't want someone that is going to literally go into melee and die instantaneously just because they have a flimsy weapon and even flimsier armor. That's it. That's the caveat there. You do not want to have someone like that. You want people like these hero adventurers, for example. Even the Ghazi stalkers are actually pretty nice, even though I might count them as being a little bit flimsy, to be honest, because I'm not entirely sure what their gear is or anything like that. But all I know is that of course the hero adventurers are going to be more dangerous, in my opinion. I think they are probably going to be far and away more dangerous, but it still doesn't preclude the fact that Ghazi stalkers are a lot easier to get, right? Obviously, hero adventurers are difficult to level up. They do take quite some time to level up, and indeed getting your hands on adventurers to begin with is a bit of a chore, because you need to find them in taverns most of the time. And yeah, it's going to be a little bit troublesome, a little bit troublesome to get your hands on those guys. So that's the reason why generally whenever I find adventurers in a tavern, I'm always extremely pleased, because I'm like, oh yes, adventurers, come to me. I need them, I need them as much as possible. Thank you very much. But there you go, look at that. 33 renown. We literally just destroyed them just because we were able to stand at range and allow our forces to inflict damage. That is it. That is literally all we needed to do, which is actually, frankly, crazy. Really nice to actually see that for once. Okay, so let's see here. Oh, this is actually really nice. I'm actually going to use this horse. Why not? Yeah, we'll just take the loot as well. There we go. Now, the problem is I don't have any spaces. I'm hopeful that these things are going to be placed into the garrison. I hope they will be, at least. Highly unlikely, but we could try our best, maybe, to get them to go in there. But yeah, we're actually just going to release these guys for a real quick second, because I want to get these adventurers, and we could technically get the rogue Blackheart Knight as well. Do we want that? What does it become? Nothing? Okay. Yeah, I don't really want that then. I guess we're just going to leave it and just see what happens here. Okay, hopefully it will go into the garrison. I don't really want this for myself either. Hilariously enough, do I want it for myself? Kind of. Yeah, you know what? Let's do it. I'm not sure about this, actually. I feel like it's a pretty... maybe it's a bad idea for me to do this. Okay, let's see what the garrison's like. Yeah, as you can see, the garrison has nothing in here. So that's really bad. And I probably should have given it to our... well, technically to our liege. We should have given it to him. Because now we have this issue. Madam Ursula? Hello? Ah, yes, she's the claimant. She's the claimant for the Ravenstone. That's actually hilarious. Okay, so where's the steward? Is he here? Is that the guy? Yes, hello there, sir. Okay, hello. Yes, okay, so I want you to recruit from my surrounding villages. Well, that's going to take quite some time, isn't it? Yeah, that is going to take quite some time indeed. Right, let's do a training session, and we will recruit, but not yet. I don't want to train anyone just yet either. As you can see, they're probably... Ooh, 39,000. We actually got 39,000. That's actually rather tasty. I like that quite a bit. Yeah, it's not too bad. But these guys are... Oh, no, they're running. This is great. Okay, I'm actually surprised. Okay, yeah, they're running away. I'm actually wondering... Ah, yes, this guy is actually going to start the siege. Okay, that's kind of interesting. He's only got 127 people, but who am I to say no? Right, who am I to say no to him? If he wants to go for it and come in here and try and sort of test his mettle, then obviously he's perfectly welcome to try. And we're going to be sending some people around here. I'm going to send some people to recruit. I actually really like the fact that in Pendor the recruiting... Oh no, are you joking? Wait. Did the SHAR just declare war against us? They did, and they are now actually taking Ethos. That is really bad. Okay, we're going to have to do a little bit of an emergency something here. Yes, we're going to have to do something very emergency based. So this means we're gonna have some issues. We're gonna have some issues. Okay, we're gonna have to go in here very fast. Gonna have to go and attack him really quickly. I don't really want to be super aggressive here if I can help it, obviously. Right, so now it's all just about us doing some damage and actually eliminating the opponent. Now, if we can just do a little bit of damage here and there and get some experience and so on and so forth and finish this up relatively quickly, then we will be able to go over to Ethos and hopefully defend it before it gets taken. Obviously, I don't know how many enemy vassals there are. I'm assuming a load, by the way. I am assuming a massive amount of opponents because Ethos has 500, 600 people in the garrison there. So it's very likely that our opponents are going to be having much more than that. I'm thinking at least 1,000 troops, probably. And if they do have 1,000 troops, I think we may in fact have a slight advantage. If we can get over there, that is. If we can get over there, then we're going to be having a great time. But if they take it before we even do that, then, well, then we're not going to be having such a good time, because Ethos is obviously fantastic. Probably one of the best towns I've ever seen, actually, in regards to its income generation. You know, just so many villages, actually, that provide you with massive amounts of rents and taxes and so on and so forth. I'm actually very surprised. I never actually realized that so many villages were tied to the town itself. I was thinking that some of those were tied to the various castles in and around the area, but no, it's actually all Ethos, which is pretty incredible. Anyway, there's the victory for us. We basically lost no one, obviously, thanks to our surgery skill. That is exactly the reason why I wanted to take surgery skill myself, because I personally don't trust any companion to stay alive. Obviously, you can keep the companion in the back of the bus, as it were. If you want to, you can put them at the very bottom of your party screen. But for me, I feel like it's a waste. I feel like it's a waste of a particularly good unit, potentially, you know? So, anyway, we're just going to let this guy go once again. Oh, a gold bar! Yes, a gold bar. I am actually very surprised. Thank you. Okay, that is absolutely fantastic. I am extremely pleased about that. Okay, so you know what that means, right? Yeah, you know what that means? We are literally going to be making our way over to the Mines of Al-Aziz. Obviously, I'm going to be making my way over to Ethos very fast, and hopefully I'm going to make it there in time. Alright, so I actually made a little bit of headway here. They have not gone in, from what I can tell, just yet. So that's good. Now, here's the thing. We've obviously just gone in against two vassals that were relatively close by to the main force. I haven't seen how many they actually have, but if we can remove these two from contention, we're going to have a great time, because one of these guys alone has about 190 people or something like that. So if he were to join, it would be very bad. That would be extremely awful for us. So hopefully we can make a little bit of a dent here. As you can see, I am a little bit injured because I did actually just fight another vassal, very small vassal, not really worth it. And indeed, I did take a little bit of damage there. Anyway, we are going to make our way in. Let's see if we can do this. We've got 125, against 125. This is also the reason why tactic skill is very important at sometimes. Obviously, if you have seen my last series on Pendor, where we actually attempted to conquer the entire map in 250 or less in-game days, then you know exactly the kind of strategy that I utilized to make that happen. It was extremely effective, very efficient, and very much no nonsense. And tactic skill is extremely important with that particular strategy. So yeah, I won't get into it now. You can obviously watch that series if you're interested about that. But anyway, the point is, let's do this. Let's go in. Let's try and charge every single person that we can. I'm gonna try and it's a little bit weird, actually. We haven't really fought the SHAR that much in this playthrough just yet, so I am now a little bit well, a little bit weirded out, because I'm like, oh, where do I go? What do I do? Who do I attack? You know, which units do I actually want to focus down here? Because most of the time when you're fighting, for example, the Feardsvane, well, basically anyone that looks like they have heavy armor is the way to go here. But most of the SHAR wear somewhat medium armor, and you can't really tell who's who, kind of. You know, it's a little bit more difficult to tell, because as you can see, we've got these desert warriors right here. They have relatively bright colored armor on, because they do have some yellow or gold that they've emblazoned across their chests and stuff like that. And then obviously you do have some others that are relatively similar as well. So I'm assuming for the SHAR, I mean, considering we have used to very good effect, mind you, and they're one of my favorite units, Ghazi Stalkers. Ghazi Stalkers, they're the ones that need to be eliminated, but the problem with them is that they're actually really good at being elusive. They're good at avoiding all kinds of damage, and yeah, that's the kind of thing that we have to be a little bit aware of when we're dealing with the SHAR. We cannot underestimate them, despite the fact that we are winning this very, very handily, mind you. That doesn't mean anything, because in the grand scheme of things, if these guys were to have slightly more, you know, Ghazi Stalkers, for example, or they were to have, you know, particular Knighthood Order, maybe some more Scorpion Assassins or something like that, I don't know. For me personally, I do think that the Scorpion Assassins are not going to be that effective for pretty much anyone, to be honest. I mean, you can use Scorpion Assassins if you like, but from my perspective, they're just not going to be as effective as other Knighthood Orders. I mean, there's a huge number of Knighthood Orders in the mod, and there are a lot of them that are very effective, and Scorpion Assassins are no different. They are very effective in comparison to normal units, but you put them up against another kind of troop from a different Knighthood Order, and they're not going to be particularly good, in my opinion at least. That's what I've seen in the past. Anyway, we are going to just take these guys prisoner because they don't have good personalities. If they had good personalities, I would have probably let them go. But yeah, they didn't. Alright, so a crazy amount of names have just joined the battle here, or shall we say joined the siege, and they have almost 2,000! Yes! Almost 2,000 troops against our 810. Let's see how we do here. I am a little bit worried that they're immediately... I can only hope that we're just going to absolutely slaughter them with all of our crossbowmen and various other ranged troops. I really, really need our forces to be as effective as possible. So far it doesn't actually seem to be going super badly. All we need to do is just continue this. That's it. Just consistency, right? Consistency is actually the name of the game when it comes to sieges of this size. I've been doing this for over, now that I say it, I've been playing these games since 2012. I'm not going to say the amount of years, okay? I'm just going to say since 2012. So, yeah, I've been playing them a long time. Let's just say that, right? And so basically what that means is that I have a lot of experience when it comes to sieges of this nature. Massive sieges. So many, in fact, that sometimes, and I'm talking mostly about mods here, like Pendor, you know, for example, but there are a number of other mods, like, for example, Brittenwalder. Don't know whether you remember Brittenwalder on my channel, but If you've seen that series, it's literally, I don't even know how many parts now, 130 parts long or something like that. Anyway, very, very old series. Basically, in that series, there were moments where I was doing sieges that literally took about maybe an hour, maybe actually an hour of real time to fight. Because obviously at that point we didn't have, you know, speed ups or anything like that, like in Bannerlord. You know, Bannerlord obviously has a bunch of speed ups and stuff like that, and the mods do help you to save time dramatically. But Warband doesn't really have that unless you use some kind of external program. And yeah, back in the day, obviously, it would take a long, long time. But this is kind of a similar feeling. It kind of gives me that similar feeling, but thankfully, obviously, we do have a much faster way of killing enemies here, or at least I think so. So we should have a slightly easier time of dealing with the opponent. Obviously, we have to be very, very aware of the fact that I can die very fast if we get shot in the face by something. It's very possible for us to just die immediately, or at the very least take big damage. And we really do not want to do that. I'm kind of hoping that the Singali and Temptress and stuff like that are actually going to just move back, because they're... See, now this is exactly the point. These guys are immediately coming up here, and they know exactly where I am, so they're going to try and do damage. So I need to be more cautious when it comes to standing nearby to the opening of the battlements here. Because if I just stand around about, maybe a little bit back, so maybe around about here, maybe a little bit closer to our forces, like somewhere around here, I think this is probably going to be better. But it does give them a clear line of sight. So if they are using a ranged attack, for example, then it's going to be even easier for them to hit us. So I don't know. Maybe we want to be maybe off to the side a bit more. Yeah. That's probably going to make more sense. Okay, we got hit here. Not great. Need to make sure that we're not taking too much damage. He says as he just takes damage. That's hilarious. Yeah, that's a great thing, isn't it? But we are actually doing insanely well in regards to the ratio right now. Look at that. We've already killed 325 enemy units. And that is exactly what we want. We want that every single day of the week. Thank you very much. And if we can continue this, once again, consistency, name of the game, especially when it comes to such lengthy sieges. Yeah, we are going to need to be consistently good here. And if I can continue to actually kill enemies, we will have a great time. Let's just hope, cross our fingers, that I'm not going to take too much damage. Yeah, now this is obviously one of the biggest problems about having a siege like this. Normally I'd say, oh yeah, ladders, ladders are pretty good, because they provide a pretty significant, shall we say, opening on the shielded units. You know, anyone that's got a shield is going to be relatively difficult to deal with for ranged troops unless they're facing away. And ladders do the wonderful thing of causing opponents to expose their backs and their sides and so on and so forth. So it's a lot easier for our forces to actually hit them with ranged attacks. However, I personally prefer a siege tower. Ladder is all very well and good and everything, but a siege tower would be even better. But that does also provide a much wider entry point, which is obviously easier for them. So yeah, there's a number of reasons why that's also bad, but you know, you kind of just have to make do with what you get, and I'm very much hoping... Hey, hello there. Yeah, no, you're not going to be killing me, sir. Thank you very much. Okay, but yeah, we will hopefully be able... I'm trying, if I can, trying to get to 100 kills, if I can make that happen. 100 kills would be really fun. Okay, so Jocelyn just got himself killed. Not a big fan of that. Gonna have to try and help out our forces here. For some reason, they're getting absolutely slaughtered. I don't know why they're just... I don't know. They're kind of leaving this area, surprisingly enough. I don't know why. Alright, so we've already eliminated 830 troops. That is actually kind of insane. Now, if we can just do a little bit more, we should have this in the bag. Are we getting to the end, actually? We seem to be getting to the end, actually. Oh, I might actually survive this, if you can believe it. Oh, no, yeah, look at that. They've actually run out of troops. Okay, they've run out of troops. That is fantastic. Okay, well, there you have it. There you have it. We actually managed to complete such an insane siege. 198 renown for us. We did end up losing 11 troops, but that's obviously not too bad. We did kill 116. Look at that. I killed 116. Not too bad. And indeed, the enemy has now been forced to retreat. So the question is, I can't really go out there. That's the funny thing. I can't really go out there and capitalize on what has just happened. I will not be able to, because what's going to happen is we are going to be in a really, really bad position here. As you see, wait a minute. Oh, hello. Wait a minute. Wait. This might actually... Ooh, hello. Okay. There is only a very small contingent of forces out here. We might be able to make something happen, but I I don't know whether I can really go in with our current force. I might need to go to the garrison. Let's take out some T-Knights and Biscuit Sergeants. Might as well make good use of them, right? Might as well actually use them ourselves instead of just kind of leaving them in there. And I wouldn't mind if I can. Let's actually just go into the No, don't ambush me, you absolute idiots. Ah, this is not something that I'm looking for right now. Thank you very much. Let's tell my forces to charge in here. Get these guys out of the way. I've literally just killed over 100 troops. I do not want to be ambushed by a bunch of bandits. Thank you. Ah, I really can't believe that. You know, it literally happens at the worst possible time, doesn't it? Okay, yeah. So let's go into the tavern. Let's see if there is a ransom. There is. Is this a ransom broker? Yes, there is. Okay, this is fantastic. This is really, really good. So what we're going to do, going to go into the garrison. Basically just going to take out as many troops as I can get my hands on, basically. And we're just going to go and we're going to sell them and just try to make as much money as possible from all the prisoners that we have here. Look at that, 14,000 for all of that. Very, very nice. Because here's the thing, if they manage to capture this in some way, or I don't know, if I get myself taken prisoner or something, I don't really want to just let these go. You know, I want to make sure that we try to get some nice resolution for it, because I mean literally look at how many. Wait a minute, can I just press this? Yes, I can. Okay, thank you. I was kind of wondering why I was doing it one by one when I know the shortcut. I was just kind of wondering if I would be allowed to do it. There you go. Very nice. Okay, so what we are going to do now is we're actually going to go in just a second. Are we actually going to go in just a second against this guy? I mean, let me just actually see what he's got, because I don't really want to chance it if he's going to be difficult. Yes. Let's see here. He's got a bunch of Dust Riders, Wind Riders. They're going to be kind of harsh for us to deal with, but otherwise, apart from that, I don't think he has much. Let's just wait for some time until daytime. Let's see. We might have a good shot here. We might have a good shot. Yeah, you know what? I kind of want to do it. Just because. But my T-Knights, I only have 4 out of 6 of them ready. You know what? Does it matter? No, it doesn't matter. Okay, yeah, we are literally just going to go in just a second. Let me do this. Oh, Sigismund's got some really, really nice stats, actually. Let's just level up his agility, I guess, a little bit. Okay, so I also need some specking. So what am I going to spec into? Well, I have no idea. I actually have no idea. So I guess we'll just go for strength, and we'll go for Iron Flesh, just to make sure that we have as much HP as possible. And then we're just going to go straight on in. He's running away from us. He's running away from us. So he may, in fact, believe that he is going to lose. So this is good. That's very nice. I like that. I like that a great deal. So if I can just... I'm hopeful that he's going to be aggressive. Okay, I want him to be as aggressive as possible. If he isn't, then we'll still be okay, kind of. But I'd like it if he were to just charge us straight up, because he has a significant cavalry force. If we can split his cavalry from his infantry and archers and all that stuff, we are going to be in a very, very strong position. So let's see what happens. Maybe they are actually going to do that, or maybe... Oh, what? Where are all the cavalry? Okay, this is kind of interesting. I'm not sure where all the cavalry are, but apparently... Oh, there they are. Okay, they're coming in now. Okay, kind of interesting. They were at the back. Kind of a bit weird. Let's tell our forces to charge in here. I want to try and see if I can distract more of these forces. Nice, nice, nice. There we go. Nice, yes, yes, yes. Kill, 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 kill. More of those kills, thank you. Yes, this is exactly what we want. And maybe I can get that guy. No, I was actually trying to get that armored fellow killed as well, but no such luck. Okay, my forces should have the advantage here, because the enemy does seem to be primarily out of line of sight. If they are out of line of sight, they won't be able to do basically anything. And this initial charge here that we're doing is very aggressive. That's exactly why I wanted them to be aggressive, so that we could turn it against them, basically. making it so that if we can separate them, that's how you win, you know. That's generally how the game works, you know, most of the time. Not all the time, of course. There are those moments where if you do everything right, you can still lose, you know. But that's the case with pretty much everything. Doesn't matter. Sometimes you can do everything right and still lose. And wait a minute, let me be very careful here. Yeah, as I said, let me be very careful here. He gets hit for 26 damage. Yes, I like that. That's great. I love getting hit for so much damage. Yes, that's wonderful. Well, the best thing that I can do right now is just kind of run around here, try to eliminate a handful of units, try to hit them and kill them in one hit, if at all possible. That would be the best way to go about things, because it just removes one troop from some of our forces having to kill them, and it saves them time, you know. Same thing with the cavalry as well. Just generally, anytime we are able to eliminate, you know, more than just one person in a single charge, that's the way to go. We always want to try to maximize value when it comes to hits. We don't want to do this thing where we, you know, hit someone for 7 damage, because that doesn't really do anything, you know. Like, yeah, sure, okay, you hit them for 7 damage, that's great, but it doesn't do significant damage. Like, for example, right there, I hit for 39, which is not great, but that is going to be enough, hopefully, to allow an allied unit to finish off whoever it was, right? And that's much better. But if you're doing like 7 damage or 5 damage or whatever the amount of damage you're going to be doing, then it just doesn't do much, because you don't contribute, right? You don't contribute, and you also don't kill something and remove it from the board, as it were. So it's basically a lose-lose situation in that regard. That's the reason why I always generally tend, if I can, to try and do at least a little bit of damage. And I'm talking about over 20 damage. I'd say that obviously 20 is pretty much the extreme minimum that you want to do when it comes to actually dealing damage with a melee attack. Because 20 in Warband is okay. You know, it's usually about a third of an average unit's HP, and it might even be about half of a weak unit's HP. So doing 20 damage is pretty okay, but obviously you ideally would like to do at least 40. At least 40 would definitely provide a rather significant benefit if you have to do a partial amount of damage. But obviously, if you are, you know, having a rune weapon like this, you should probably be getting one-shot kills. So whenever I don't get a one-shot kill, you can best bet that it's just because of the speed bonus, or it's because I miss, you know, like that, like I just did right there. You know, sometimes I miss, and that's just how it goes. But yeah, we are actually ending up losing quite a few people, but thankfully, because of our surgery skill, we are fine. And we should be good. And that is indeed the end of the wonderful siege that apparently Mr. Bahadur, yes, he attempted to besiege Ethos, and he paid the price. And oh yeah, I should probably tell you right now that Nadar Castle was taken by the Fierdsvain, because of course it was. And there it is, 55 renown for us right there, and we are ending up losing another hero adventurer. I ideally would like to recruit huge amounts of hero adventurer, well, shall we say huge amounts of adventurers, and then level them up. The question is, do we want to let this guy go or not? From my perspective, I'd like to keep him, because I think his ransom is going to be insane. So I think we're going to do that. And we will be taking this guy, let this guy go. Yeah, let this guy go. I mean, a lot of these fellows are actually kind of good, and we could potentially get them to join our faction, but I'm not entirely sure how that works. Because, as I say, I haven't actually done a claimant ever before, so it's going to be kind of interesting to see what happens with that. Anyway, let's just get these guys. Okay, so we've got these prisoners. We have Ethos here. Let's put these guys into the garrison. Not sure if that's going to be a particularly good idea, but I guess I will. And Let's just do something like this. There we have it. Okay. So the question is, this is what's currently going on. As you can see, Nadar Castle was taken. Thankfully, Valonbray and Windholm are completely fine. I'm actually not entirely sure why they didn't immediately go to Valonbray and take that back. Kind of a bit weird. But otherwise, we were successful in our defense here, and I gotta say, I'm actually really surprised. We only have about 10 days until the next Noldor tournament as well, so I may have enough time to go over to Nadar Castle and just very quickly take it back, but we'll see. I thank you very much. I thank you very much, if I can speak properly, for watching, and I'll see you next time.